Nnamdi Kanu is free, and they believe that Nigeria are not treating the Igbos justly. But it's fellow outside people attacking him that you cannot be from the north and be speaking like this. Even though he spoke Hausa to them, and even on his forehead you can see the sign that he's a Muslim. But then let's look at the angle where he said that from the civil war till now that Nigeria has not treated the Igbos very right, and it's not only the Hausa, you're also a part of people that are treating the Igbos wrongly. What do you have to say about that one?
Yes, based on the fact that the man was speaking the truth, like I earlier said, it doesn't matter your religion, it all matter self. Yourself. Say the truth. If you're a Muslim, stand on the truth. If you're a Christian, stand on the truth. If you are not, if you're a pagan, speak the truth. It doesn't matter. What matters is the truth. You understand me? Starting from 1966, January 15, coup d'etat, and after all said and done in that coup d'etat issue, Nigeria break into war in 1967. But before 1967, there was a lot of, criminalizing acts in terms of killings that triggered to that civil war. Of which, let me tell you, the people that triggered that civil war, I will tell you today. Gowon and Ojukwu signed Abuli Accord. And in that Abuli Accord, what does it stand for? Because many of us do not know or understand that Abuli Accord, what it means or what it stands for. What it actually stands for, it stands for regional government. That was what they signed. Everybody manage what is in your own place. Then give a returning token to the federal government. And that was the system that the British England is running, because they are using it to develop their own place. Likewise in America. But why is it difficult for the British to allow Nigeria to run the same thing? Because they don't want a good governance and a good development in Africa. Are you getting it? So when Gowon now returns, a call came to him by the British man, by Lord Lugard, that he should not agree. He should not accept, neither attend to that which they have agreed and signed in Abuli Accord. Do you see what triggers one of the reasons why we have civil war? And ever since then, and after that civil war, till this very date, Igbo man has not been trusted by Nigerians, both to Yoruba, both the Fulanis and Hausas. The entire Igbos has been neglected, has been rejected, has been abandoned. Everything about Igbos has been put aside. They have sidelined them. You know, that's why sometimes these Nigerians sit down and begin to imagine how come Igbos are surviving and how come they survive to this level. Because after the war, all the money of Igbo man that was in the bank was seized by Nigerian government with the help of the British government. Lord Lugard as at that time. Are you getting it? So all these things took place as at that time as a way of frustrating, and harassing and intimidating an Igbo man. But nevertheless, God so kind that they are not the God of the Igbos. God was so merciful to our fathers, our grandfathers, our elders, and showed them mercy that today Igbos are waxing strong within the space of some years. Igbos have grown, even outgrown the people that siphon their money. In terms of that, Yoruba's counterpart, the Hausas, northern counterpart, the Fulani, and Efik, Kogi, Benue, Plateau, which go headed from. But the promise the Igbos who come up against the Igbos.
The whole promise the Igbos that there will be 3 R's after the Civil War. Reconciliation, reconstruction, and rehabilitation. Have all these things have they been achieved by Nigeria?
No, that is the answer. Nigeria have not achieved, they have not even started. They have not even taken any step regard to that. And that was what made Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Even before Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, somebody rose up in person of Wazirike, which Mazen Nnamdi Kanu supported him with his full heart. But along the line, Wazirike sold this ideology to Nigerian government under the former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo. And that was what triggered Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, what motivated him and what angers him to leave London down to Nigeria here in respect of this. Even when he came, he did not come to divide the country, but he came to remind them of that promise which they are yet to fulfill today, this very date. And he made it known to them that all these things should be put in place. Like
Ibrahim has led soldiers to revenge against militants, terrorists that killed over 200 soldiers in Burkina Faso. This man, a warrior, he led soldiers and they have revenge, and they have massively cleared out and eliminated those terrorists who are being sponsored by some foreign nations against the interests of Burkina Faso. And don't forget that Burkina Faso president has a tie with Vladimir Putin, Russian president, and they believe that they will never spare terrorists. In Burkina Faso, there is no amnesty for terrorists. There is no repentant terrorists. When you're a terrorist, they send you to God. That's their law there in Burkina Faso. If you're watching for the first time, kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel, on notifications, drop a comment, click like button, like this video, and also share with others. Burkina Faso have eliminated and revenge against terrorists. People have said that Nigeria should learn from Burkina Faso and stop pardoning Boko Haram. Let's start from there. Biafran evangelist, what do you have to say?
You know, I am laughing Nigeria. I am laughing Nigeria because this thing that they are talking, we are talking about Burkina Faso. It's supposed to be about Nigeria, not Burkina Faso. But it's quite unfortunate that we are running a country like this. And that is why every day by day, you know, I pray for Captain Ibrahim Traore, and I am happy having somebody like that as a leader in Africa, in our own time, in our own days, under our own very eyes. You know, this is a, let me tell you, I've been saying this thing time without number, that a good country and a good president can never condone terrorists. Go and check in a country, anything terrorism can never be condoned, neither can there be welcome. But it is only in Nigeria that I see terrorists that will tell you they have been forgiven and they will include them in our military. You understand? And after include them in the military, you never can tell. The next thing, the same people, don't you see what happened? Our military confessing that the people they trusted so much in the military are the one that betrayed them. That is to tell you that these people are not supposed to be pardoned. And that was what triggered the Burkina Faso president, Captain Ibrahim Traore, being a soldier, being a military man, being in the front to lead other soldiers to revenge for the killing of the 200 Burkina soldiers. As you can see what happened, see the way he made sure he eliminated all those terrorists. That is to tell you a country that need what? Peace. Not like in Nigeria, that they will welcome Boko Haram in the military. Boko Haram will take advantage. See, let me tell you, as I speak to you now, there is a new commander now that has come that replaced Shekau. Shekau now. Yeah, the new commander now.
Commander Boko Haram.
Yes, new one now. This one is threatening Sidious Musa direct. This time I'm telling you, do your findings. He threatens Sidious Musa direct, give him serious threats.
A Boko Haram.
A Boko Haram Oga commander, the latest Shekau now. Do you understand? And why is he doing that? Because he knows very well Nigeria being a terrorist nation and that is why they allow terrorists, you know, to control arms, to control the military, to control every diaspora of Nigerian uniform bodies, organization, groups. You understand? So, but in Boko Haram, Captain Ibrahim Traore is not ready, you know, to allow any stone untouched, regardless of terrorism, because it's not something to welcome in a country, because it will destabilize the system of that country, the economy of that country, the progress of that country, the success of that country. Both investors, it will scare them from coming to that country. That is why he volunteered himself, be in the front to eliminate all the terrorists in Burkina Faso. And I give him kudos for doing that. That is a leader, and that is the kind of people with the kind of spirit I expect to take place in Nigeria. But quite unfortunate that Nigeria have already given it all and given it up to all Nigerian terrorists. That they are the one in charge, controlling both in the military, both in the political position, and leadership in total in Nigeria. But what a shame to Nigerian government.
Now, Ibrahim Traore has been threatened by many African countries. And you have seen Vladimir Putin said, I will not allow anything to happen to my man. That this man is a good man. Should we be afraid that there may be sort of like a war in Africa over Burkina Faso president?
Yeah, not actually there will be war, because many Africans, you can see Ghana supporting the young man, Lesotho supporting many African countries are supporting the young man. They are behind the young man. They are beside Putin himself. Now you can see Putin openly, he didn't hide it again. He openly, you know, air his view of full support of Ibrahim Traore. And let me tell you, Putin is playing this as a game to do what? To break the wings of who? Of the Western Europeans. Let me tell you, very soon now, very soon, you can see what is happening in Ukraine. As I speak to you now, France is muzzling it with UK and Germany and the right, you know, muzzling it up to go and support Zelensky, the president of Ukraine now, you know, to fight Putin. And Putin is too, you know, warming up, preparing for their coming. And he said, according to one of the lessons I read yesterday, that they are not just preparing it, the fight will not only be in Ukraine, Russia versus NATO. It will be Russia, NATO, and Europeans versus Africa. That is how the game Putin want to play now.
Somebody said in Nigeria that an attack against Boko Haram is an attack against the North. Somebody said again in Nigeria that don't vote for anybody that fight against Boko Haram, against bandits, that they are our soldiers. Now, Ibrahim Traore has said, in my country, these things are not allowed. We will eliminate all terrorists. Terrorists cannot go scot-free in Burkina Faso.
Because it's a disciplined president.
Can Nigeria learn from that angle?
Yes, Nigeria is supposed to learn, because they don't have shame. They are claiming to be giant of Africa. But what is expected of them, they are not doing it. See, this is the step of Ibrahim Traore. Was supposed to be Nigerian step, so that Ibrahim Traore and other countries in Africa will begin to learn from them, as through, you know, they claim to be the giant of Africa. But instead of them to doing the right thing, they prefer doing the wrong thing. And the countries like Burkina Faso will be the one teaching them, lecturing them on how they're supposed to, you know, run their government. See, my brother, Nigeria is nowhere to be found. I see bedsheet with you. In few years to come, if care is not taken, Somalia will be better than Nigeria.
Because we are looking for that but always is a young person, should be at 7 years. People are now asking that if you want to vote for any leader, though he is a military administrator, military president, that it's time for Africans to vote for a youth person, a young man who is energetic. Should Nigeria go that way?
Yeah. Nigeria should, if possible, Nigeria can go that way. Let them go that way. But it is a shame to Nigeria that they are copying from Burkina Faso. But you never even know. You cannot look down on anybody. Age is just a number. You can learn from Burkina Faso as well if you wish. If you want and if they're ready. I read one this thing from this man, the former president of Nigeria, and person of Yakubu go on say that you see Nigeria running into a military government back again. You understand? So, and let me tell you, and as it stand now, the kind of military government we are going to see now, the way I am seeing it, is going to be a bandit military government, because in our military, we don't have military again. In the military, what we have now, Boko Haram militaries. That is what we have in our military. You understand? So definitely, if there is going to be a military regime or a military rule in Nigeria, it will become automatic Boko Haram military regime in Nigeria and bandits all over. And you and I, it's only God can tell
do you believe in repentant bandits that a Boko Haram can repent? Do you believe in that?
I never believe in Boko Haram repentance. I never believe on that, and I can never believe. Because you can see them. There was a man, who committed a crime like that. One of the commander of Russian army. Do you know that even during this war against Ukraine, do you know what happened? The man vouched to Putin that Putin should put him in the war front, that is going to crush his rescue. Do you understand? That was what he said, that he was going to crush Zelensky, that they should put him in the war front, a commander. But being it that Putin, a Russia, a country that are disciplined, they don't want anything criminalism, they put that man in the prison. But here in Nigeria, you hear the Penta Boko Haram, after that they will put them in the military. And inside the military, they will betray our militaries, kill our military, go away with our military arms. As I speak to you, was it not 2 or 3 days ago, that these people scattered away with over 1 point something trillion worth of arms of the military.
Good.
And he should be ashamed of himself, because the nonsense which he played against Nnamdi Kanu in London, regard to this struggle, is what he could not do is what Nnamdi Kanu has proven to him, that this is what we respected you for, and you have failed, you betray. Now I will come and do it. And Nnamdi Kanu has come and proven himself, and it is a very huge slap to his personality, regardless of the respect that we anchored on him, which today he has messed it up. You understand? So when you are talking about Biafra today, you cannot mention rap was written. No. It's no longer in the platform. Do you understand? It's no longer in the platform. But now
that I asked for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, are they going to forgive him?
Of course, we forgive him. We are not going to, do him anything. No, he's not our enemy. But the issue remains, is not a trustworthy person again. As long as IPOB is concerned, we cannot, trust anything into his care. No, because this disappointment and betraying act which he have acted show to us that he did not have that pure interest of IPOB at heart. That's why the fact that he has called out, voiced out for the release of Nnamdi Kanu based on the illegal detention and illegal trials that he has been facing with Nigeria. Because Nnamdi Kanu doesn't supposed to, be facing trials in Nigeria because he commits no crime. People that have committed a lot of crime, are working freely here in the country, but because Igbophobia is what is playing against Nnamdi Kanu. So, and on this note, he have apologized. He have his own view and point, but that is not going to be enough for us, because he is saying it, believing or thinking that he was going to, win our heart to trust him, regardless of this struggle. The capital no is there.
But then, the question is that can the Igbos now trust Ojukwu now that he has come out to demand the release of Nnamdi Kanu? I'm going to play the video in a short while, but that means if you can listen to Igbo, he spoke in Igbo, and if he spoke in Igbo. But would the Igbos ever now come out and say yes, Ojukwu has apologized to let us forgive him. Will the Igbos forgive him?
That is the point I am making. Forgiving him, yes. As a human,
Will they accept him back?
you see, it's our brother, it's our uncle, it's our father. We know him as an Igbo man, as an Igbo
What
person.
I'm saying is that will the Igbos now accept him back as a freedom fighter?
No. No, that is what I said before. Anything regards to IPOB, regard to this idea, this IPOB of a thing, Ojukwu can never be entrusted again. Are you hearing me? Because it's no longer in the picture. He has sold himself out to Nigeria. We will forgive him and welcome him as Igbo man, but not in the place of the picture. When you talk of Igbo, struggle, Igbo race of freedom as a freedom fighter, no. But we can include him as the people, one of those who betrayed Igbos, who turned their back on Igbos, who cannot withstand the heat of Nigeria. That is the class where he belongs, and that is the picture we will give him. Do you understand? When you talk about the struggle, number one is Dim Ojukwu. Number two, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Number three, Mazi Simon Ekpan. Number four, the COS herself. No other person than Ngozi Orabo.
No, if you look at that Ngozi Orabo, that one is really causing controversy. There seems to be a faction now that some are in Kere or some are Orabo, something like that. Which of them do you think is he? I mean, maybe after Simon Ekpan,
my
which
brother,
one do you think is fighting
after
for Biafra?
Simon Ekpan, the person that is fighting for Biafra is Ngozi Orabo. Those fractions you are seeing are the Nigerian paid elements which they use. They planted among them to cause division. Are you getting it? To cause division. You can see during the time of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, at the end of the day, what happened? DOS dodged. Some persons pull out of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and they sold him off. So the same people are another set of people like those ones are the one in Nigeria.